welcome to a brand new episode of Kathor Vaani by the Student Alumni Committee of IIM Rohtak. Today, our guest is Mr. Mohit Narayan. Sir completed his MBA from our college IIM Rohtak back in 2015 with majors in marketing, IT, and operations. Sir is also an alumnus of Motivational Pathway, having completed his BTech in 2010. Sir has more than 7 years of work experience in various sales and strategy roles and is currently a lead account manager at InMobi, London. We are delighted to have you here with us, sir, and we are excited to hear your story.
Thank you, guys. So I am now Customer Success Manager Pod Lead. So just a correction on the role there. And good to see you guys. And yeah, looking forward to interacting with you. And hopefully I can answer some questions which can help you.
Yeah, great. So let's just dive into the formal segment. Firstly, we're talking about performance-based marketing. So how would you define it in a layman's terms?
So I would say it's not very much different from any kind of marketing activities that you do. So any performance marketing is basically the amount of revenue that you generate from a single user. So that is how you define. So the spends. So my ROI on my spends is basically performance marketing, and that is what everyone looks at in this arena. So if you look at any gaming company out there, they would be looking at how much revenue they are generating from a particular user. Maybe it's through in-app purchases which happen. So you buy stuff on different mobile games or through the ads that they are showing you, which is called in-app monetization. So that's the other thing that they do. So anything. So if I'm, let's say, spending 5 rupees to acquire a single user, is it giving me back, let's say, 10 rupees or 12 rupees in the long run? So that's how performance marketing works. This is for, let's say, for the gaming industry. For any other industry which you are in, let's say for a CPG or your retail or your automotive, it's more on like, so for CPG, if I'm doing a branding campaign, how much revenue did that branding campaign generate for me? How much users did I attract? So that's how it is. So branding is very different, but I would say, yeah, in branding or in CPG also, you would see performance marketing coming in with the number of purchases you drive from a particular campaign. So that's it.
All right, that was very insightful. The next question is that what tactics do you use to ensure that the messaging actually reaches the right audience?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, and in a very interesting phase of especially mobile app marketing or any kind of digital marketing that we are going through. So two reasons for it. One, Apple bringing it in that ATT framework, wherein you are prompted if you want to share your device IDs or not on your iPhone. So any app that you install will always ask you if they can track you or not. Second, with Google also going the same route, we'll see cookies going away in the next 2 years. I think in the next 1 year, cookies would go through. So your targeting on your browsers become difficult. Then Google will also deprecate the device ID thing, which is there right now. So they will also ask you if you want to share your device IDs or not promptly on any app that you install. Right now, you can do it through your phone settings, which are already there. So you can mask your device IDs and nobody would know about it. So see, at any given point as a user, you have around 15 to 20 signals which your marketer can use for targeting you. So usually we what we do here is we build up a certain segment of audiences. It could be based on a household graph. It could be based on your on the devices that you're using. It could be based on your device ID. So basically we make and it could be based on the kind of apps that you have on your phone. So this is not scrolling which is happening. This is based on the surveys that we conduct. We conduct different surveys. We try to find out what is the user, what are the interests, and based on that we try to build up audiences at our end. So these audiences are basically what we use to do any targeting or any messaging, specific messaging that we have to relate to these users. So that's how the targeting happens. So it's simple. In your marketing terms, you need to create a segment. For that segment, you need signals or data which tells you that, okay, this is the right segment. Once you have figured that out, you take out the information which you have, you try and extrapolate it on a larger audience, and you create those audiences and then you target them. So that is how it's being done in this phase. In the coming next 2 years, it would be based on a probabilistic model that, okay, you might be a user. So if you look into the current scenario, I think I don't know how many of you are aware, Facebook is struggling a lot because they used to have this product with them, which was Facebook audiences. So Facebook has, I don't think anybody has more data than Facebook for you as of now. Your location data, your history, your gender profile, everything is with them. So they used to do that. That product was one of that used to generate somewhere around $35 to $40 billion for them in a year, and it has been impacted severely because of Apple's ATT framework. So things are changing. It's a very dynamic phase of the industry, but yes, still we do get some signals. I mean, there are different DMPs or data partners which are there, which different companies work with to target these users. There are different companies which are specifically working on with the AIs and ML models to bid efficiently on those users and to keep your marketing spend your budgets efficiently and probably generate higher ROI for you. So yeah, that's how it's being done right now.
Thank you for that. So let's talk about your current role at InMobi. It's very different from the roles that you have held previously. So let's discuss how they're different.
So yeah, so I think previously with India Mart or with ICICI Prudential, these were roles wherein I had been managed. So the biggest difference, I'll tell you, I was managing all Indian customers during these roles. At InMobi, I work with North America clients. So some of the largest advertisers which are there in North America. So I work with them. So it's more of a cultural shift as well, wherein you're interacting with different sort of people. And in the previous roles, I think because of COVID also, you can say, but yeah, that face-to-face interaction was there, which is a little difficult these days. But yeah, it's getting back to that phase. The other thing which is different from this and my previous roles is this one requires a lot more thinking into what new you can bring to the table for the advertisers. Insurance industry or something like can might not help you in that because the products are limited. Insurance is a very regulated industry, so you go by what you have. But yes, so that's how it has been different. I would say, yeah, that's the major differences for me.
All right. So my next question is that as students, we've gone through innumerable lectures saying that we should focus on our actions and not the results. So don't you think that the very notion of performance-based marketing defies that? And how do you see this?
I would say, see, it's a tough path to follow wherein you just think about the actions and not the results. I mean, what motivates you to perform actions and in the end the results. So I would say, yeah, keep your process strong, keep your basics strong. So if let's say if we have to talk about performance marketing, if I'm targeting the right user, the results would come. Right. So if you're following the right track in terms of what you want to achieve at the end goal, so if you are taking actions in that terms, it would really help you in achieving that final goal. And I think that's what each and every one of us does here in performance marketing also. So we try and make sure that all our actions are correct. We reach out to the right audiences, we reach out to the right user, and post that the revenue would come, because nothing is going to be immediate. I mean, it's never immediate. All these things never come immediately. So doing the right things, and I'm pretty sure the results would come.
All right. Thank you. So let's talk about your recent shift to London. So how is your experience navigating the cultural differences in the workplace between your team in the UK and your previous team back in India?
So honestly, I still work with a lot of folks which are based out of India. I hear from UK as well. For me, again, as I said, it was more with working with the US clients which are there. And in terms of shifting to the UK, I think the work culture here is a bit more relaxed. People are more open to ideas, and probably uh, you get more chances to discuss within your team, within the people, and no idea. I mean, it's not a very hierarchical structures which we see across in a lot of Indian industries, which is coming through. But I think, yeah. So UK, I would say the work culture is very relaxed, and the people are genuinely nice. So and they are very open to listening to you and work and probably taking in your ideas. So I think that's the biggest difference which is there.
All right, great. So, we would like to ask you now, what advice would you give to students who are looking to work in marketing? What is the industry looking for, and what skills should they equip themselves with?
So I think so. People who are looking for marketing, I think first thing you need to understand is how the current trends are going. What are the channels? So we just get engaged into a couple of channels which are there. I think right now I see a lot of new channels, marketing channels coming through. So the more and more information you can gather there on what channels the spends are happening, how they are happening, that's pretty helpful. Other thing I would say, your basic skills in terms of how you interpret an ad copy. I think that you can develop. So if you're seeing an ad, it's a very interactive ad. What's I think those are the exercises which you do in case study as well. But I think that's a very important skill to figure out, because a lot of places you will see people asking you, is this ad copy correct? Is the messaging correct? What are the limitations in that messaging? So I think that's the other thing. And I think apart from that, uh, develop your basic Excel skills, your all those skills very handy. I mean, it's the basics of, we are all there on, I mean, we are all going through these things each and every day. I would say just keep an eye on the industry, how it's evolving, what's happening. And other thing is just, especially if you're looking into marketing, just try and figure out how you can, what's the messaging, how it's happening, what are the things that people are doing differently. I think that should help you a lot.
All right. Well, thank you, Mohit. That was it for our formal questions, and your answers were really insightful. So thank you so much for that. Now, I'd like to invite Ria for the informal segment.
Okay, thank you, Shreya. So we'll continue with the informal segment. So, okay, so I'll start now. So which way of life do you find better, the Indian way or the British way?
See, honestly, I still miss India. It's not been long for me to to be here in the UK. It's just 6 months, but yeah, I would always prefer India than UK. That's my honest answer. But yeah, it's good to explore the world. That's all I want to say. It's good to explore the world. It's good to explore how things are different from what you're. So it's like you come out of that shell that you were there in India. You come out of the country, you find out new things, you find out new places. And yeah, this country, honestly, it's a beautiful country to be in. There's no harm in exploring these things. But yeah, if you ask me if you would prefer the Indian way or the British way, I would always prefer the Indian way. You're closer to your parents, you're closer to your friends, you're closer to everything that you like. So yes, that's my answer. I think it might differ for some people, but that's how I think.
Okay, so let's talk about your biggest takeaways from your MBA journey.
I think my biggest takeaway was you get to meet a set of people who, so all of us have come from an excellent academic background. So I think, I mean, that's the reality when you get into something like an IIM, wherein everyone is coming from a very strong academic background. Everyone has done something or the other in their past 10 years, 18 years, 20 years of their life, which they have done academically, or I mean, maybe in other fields as well. When you come to MBA, you find out that you get peers who might be excellent in some other places as well. So you get to learn a lot. I think peer learning, and I mean, I still have a group of I mean, those friends, 7, 8 people which we are there, they are always there for each other, and that's I think, and that has been helpful when you are figuring out things in your life. And I think these have been the people, whether it's professionally, whether it's personally, you get to interact with these people, and I think that was one thing which I found out. Other than that, I think uh, MBA was MBA gave me a larger perspective of things. It was not just so coming from an IT background, I never thought about the world in the way I used to think when I got into IIM Rohtak. So you look at a very large picture of an industry. So let's say right now I don't know how if I would have ever looked into a company's balance sheet just for an exercise also. But coming into an MBA, you start doing that. You try and understand the industry. You try and understand how the trends are and how things are happening. So you get a broader picture of things. So that's how I think that thought process change was very important, and that's what takes you long as well.
Okay, thank you. So let's discuss, if given a chance to redo your MBA, would you do it any differently?
No, not at all. I mean, that was one of the most fun times of my life. I would not change anything, although I never cared about my grades, honestly. I mean, it was not something which was on top of my mind. The experience, if I say, for the placements was for me, at least personally, it was not that good. But then again, you got somewhere because of that experience, and you got somewhere because of those things. So I would not change a thing there. I would still go back and do the same thing. In fact, for you guys, you are in that same campus. I would still want to go into the MDU campus and just have a look at how things are there, because it was a different vibe. It was a different atmosphere, and your neighbors were very different. So that's that. I mean, it was a great time for us. So I would never change that.
That's great to know. Okay, so your favorite memory from your time at IIM Rohtak?
I don't know if you guys get a chance, but we also used to do these bonfires in the winters, and yeah, it was fun. I don't know if this is formal, informal, but yeah, that fun was different. We used to sit around and have laughs, and how it goes in parties. So yeah, that was pretty fun for us, and I think that those are some of the good memories. I think Infusion was great for us, and yeah, we always used to go out as a group for some drives around in and around Rohtak. So with 10-15 folks out there, so that was good. I mean, yeah, those trips that I did during my MBA times were really great. So yes, I think yeah, that's it. It's been a lot of memories, but I think yeah, distinctly, if I remember, I think those bonfires, those trips which used to do in our MBA days, even for a short, just go around, drive your cars, come back. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Nice. So what are the things you do to maintain your work-life balance, and how do you manage stress in life?
I would say in terms of work-life balance, I think you have to just remember one thing in terms of cutting off from your work. I still have it. It's a bad habit wherein you always keep on checking your phones for your emails, for the pings, and it's something which has gone to a next level when people start sending you messages on WhatsApp. So there are different industry groups and everything which happens. I think in MBA also you have 15 groups which are there. So when you start working, I would say, I know the starting years it would be difficult, but little later down the path you will understand that it's important to just cut it off, else your mind is always working. So just relax for a bit, give yourself time to think about what's happening and how it's going, and don't stress too much even if you are not enjoying the first 3 years when you're out in the field. It's in the end, everything will fall in place. So don't worry about that. Don't take too much stress. I would say work can be stressful, but enjoy that stress as well, because that's what will, build you for a better challenges which come up. So yeah, so probably what I do right now is just, so after a certain time, I just close everything. I don't reply, I don't do anything, which is one thing which came through to me through my wife as well. So she always used to, when I got married, so initially I was always till 12 in the night, I was always texting or messaging or replying to emails. So I think she has this habit of after her work time, she will not take any calls or anything. So do that. That reduces a lot of stress for you. Yeah, I think that's what was the other part of your question? Sorry, I missed that.
Yes, sir. What things you do to maintain work-life balance?
See, yeah, so one thing, cut off after your work times, if possible, as much as you can. Don't always start looking into your phone and everything. Do that. Second thing is, we love to travel, so we always travel around. So one thing I do is always take a 10-15 days holidays, where I'm not working. So that's the thing. So I'll just not work for those 10-15 days. So keep taking those holidays, roam around. It's good to be going to places and enjoying those things. You will not get that time later on. So yeah, make sure you do that. And so yeah, those two things I always do. After sometimes I feel stressed, I take some days off and just go around for a short trip or something.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Here we end with our informal segment. Now I'll invite Parth to continue with the rapid fire round.
Thank you, Ria. Now we'll be doing a fun rapid fire session wherein I'll be giving you a word and you'll have to see the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, so shall we start?
Yeah.
IIM Rohtak.
Good memories. Friends.
Kathor way of living life.
Not enjoyable, but yeah, it's how it is.
Absolutely. Hostel life.
That was great. It's so yeah, I would say 132, the room which I used to be in NMD.
Nice. Library.
I never went to that. Honestly, went there a couple of times, but no, I'm not a library guy.
Deadlines.
We always manage them.
Yep, some way or the other we do.
Yep.
Guest lectures.
Boring. Some of them.
Relatable.
But yeah, some of them were fun. Yeah.
Mess food.
We mess food, I would say. Paneer was good. We never used to get anything else. I mean, I don't know if you guys have, is non-veg allowed, chicken and everything allowed in your campus, or still not there? Yeah,
Yep,
we never used to have
get
that. So the next best thing was paneer.
Yep. Examinations.
Don't take too much stress. It'll happen. It keeps on happening.
Yep. They just keep coming.
Yeah, it keeps on happening. So just take it as it comes.
Yep. Roommate.
Ronak Jha. I don't know if you guys. He's one of the best guys. You will be there. He taught me how to read. He gave me a lot of books to read. So that was great. So yeah, I would say I developed that with him. So yeah, one of the best guys to be with.
Group projects.
You manage them again. And we had a group which was very strong, 7-8 guys. So someone or the other was there to get over it.
Pre-riders.
They're there. live with it.
That's the end of the rapid fire session. We had a great time with you, Mohit. It was a highly insightful
Okay.
session. I'm hopeful that our viewers will enjoy this just as much as we did, and we look forward to connecting with you for more such sessions. Thank you.